What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video by Hometown Foreigners Podcast. I'm your host, JT. My co-host is my dad.
Hey, how's those Niners, man? Brockton loaded. Brockton loaded, baby.
Yep, the Niners just won. First one, like,
And subscribe.
cue the intro music. So the 49ers just beat the Cardinals 45-29.
Yeah, it was a interesting battle. It wasn't a total domination, as you can see. They did score 29 points, and they did run over our defense pretty well. But Brock came to play, and a whole bunch of other offensive players did too.
And Deebo Samuel, he dominated again.
Oh man, was it the third game in a row?
Yeah.
That he's been really, on it, man. Multiple touchdowns.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. So, for the 49ers' first touchdown, it was a receiving touchdown to Deebo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that was a simple one, right?
I don't remember that one
Yeah,
too well.
that was the one where he was wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of lazily ran a route, looked like he wasn't a part of the whole play, and then he ran to the left side.
Kind of like a
And
wheel
was
route.
wide open, yeah, and like I think I heard it was like over 12 yards of distance between him and the next defender, so he was wide open.
Yeah, and it was a 12-yard touchdown.
On top of that, yes.
12-12. And, but the first touchdown was scored by the Cardinals, by James Conner.
Yeah,
So,
we don't care about that. No, I'm
yeah.
kidding. But yeah, that that put a little worry. When the opposing team drives down and looks semi unstoppable. Trey McBride is looking like the next coming of Travis Kelce or
No, George
or
Kittle, the better tight
Gronkowski.
end.
You start like, oh man, what kind of game is this going to be? Is our defense going to be able to hold them up, or are we going to be kind of loose and not stay in our lanes and shut down their offense? A little nerve wracking there for a little bit.
Yeah, but the 49ers held Kyler Murray to 211 passing yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks, which is a 67.4 QB rating.
Mm.
So we shut down
Not so
Kyler
hot.
Murray. But the rushing attack was pretty good by the Cardinals.
Yeah. Connor, Kyler Murray, of course, he's pretty slippery, little quick dude.
Then Joe
hard to rein in.
Mercado.
Whoever that is. Yeah, he ran on us pretty well too. But anyways, what happened after that then?
Yeah, the next score was by Charvarius Ward, a pick six, 66 yards. He ran 20.64 miles per hour. And I said
20.6.
that he looks pretty fast while watching it.
Yeah. We as soon as you saw that, you go, I wonder how fast he ran. You looked it up, but those next gen stats are pretty quick, huh?
Yeah.
And you were mentioning too, he's coming off of a groin injury. The guy is picking off a pass and running it back very quickly for a touchdown, which was awesome. I mean, we don't get too many pick sixes. We are leading, I believe, the NFL. I looked at Yahoo stats. This was before this game. We were leading the NFL with interceptions. But Charvarius Ward, he is leading the NFL in pass breakups. Was it 19 pass breakups?
I think it was 20. And then he's had 2 more this game, and that's 22.
Yeah, but he wanted to get an interception, he said, he was going to be working on the jugs machine and practicing catching the ball, and looks like it worked.
Yeah, I was about to say that he was the fastest player in Week 15, but he actually isn't. It was Keaton Mitchell, 20.8 miles per hour. So he's the second fastest.
Impressive, very impressive.
Okay, and then the next score was a 58-yarder by Matt Prater.
I know. I was thinking, oh man, 58-yarder. Come on now, that's pretty far. And of course, he made
Well,
it.
he has the record for the second longest field goal. So
Oh yeah, okay. Didn't know that. Um, yeah, he's. It looks like he's pretty reliable. So yeah, I was bummed out that they got that long one. I was hoping to get the ball like at the 40-yard line or something. If they missed.
yeah, then the Cardinals made another field goal. So the score is 14-3. But then this is the drive that Purdy got injured. When McCaffrey scored a receiving touchdown, that's the drive that Brock Purdy got injured. So it was a stinger, and he was out for a few plays, and Sam Darnold was in. He threw some pretty bad throws, in my opinion.
There was some odd plays, and you would think, oh, let's lean on the running game since Sam Darnold is coming in kind of cold and has barely thrown any meaningful passes in a game this season. But instead, I think they threw and threw and threw, and this is one where he had to roll out to his left and then throw across the field, turn around, throw across the field to I think it was Kittle. Oh, I don't know, some weird play calls there. Um, yeah, just in case people don't know, I mean, I wasn't too sure either. What is a stinger? Well, it has to do with an injury to a nerve, usually when somebody is tackled, and it usually is affecting the neck and shoulder area. So I think this is the first time Brock Purdy. I read an interview today after the game and said this was the first time he ever had one of those. So luckily, it didn't really debilitate him for too long.
And like I said earlier, Chris McCaffrey got a 5-yard receiving touchdown. And then in the third quarter, McCaffrey got a 41-yard receiving touchdown.
Oh, that's the one where it's like he was wide open too.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy escaped the pocket, rolled out to the left, saw that the linebacker had stopped covering McCaffrey and was actually watching Purdy, and he just lofted over the top. A little bit high for McCaffrey. Maybe Purdy was assuming that McCaffrey would keep running, but instead McCaffrey was backpedaling while he was trying to look for the ball, caught the ball while jumping up, fell on the floor on the ground, and then had time to get back up before anybody, a defender, even got to him. So he had a touchdown that way. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then the Cardinals scored a touchdown. Dermot McConnell. But the next Fournette touchdown was Deebo Samuel. It passed like directly in the corner of the end zone, and then Deebo barely caught it. It was like low, and then he was barely in as well.
That was like the perfect pass. Purdy only had like right over the pylon type of a throw. It was such a small window. The defender was on Debo's right hip, and the sideline was to Debo's left, and he had to turn and catch it while leaning over and falling to the ground while catching it, and it was a touchdown. It was a great pass, great catch too, of course. Yeah, that was the thing of beauty. Brock Purdy just keeps, I don't know, surprises me, but amazes me over and over.
And then Fournette made a field goal, and then the Cardinals scored a touchdown. But yeah, that was the end of the game. And then after the game, Fournette have officially clinched the playoffs for the MC West.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
that's the second straight season in a row.
It's a lock. We swept the West. Hey, that should have been a T-shirt.
Wait,
Sweep the West.
did you say it's a lock? That they actually made a T-shirt.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
Oh.
That's why I said it. It's a lock. But I said sweep the West. That should have been it too. Should have been some brooms on there or something. But yeah, we were undefeated in the West this season. And then and for the conference, we only lost one game within the conference, and that was to the Vikings. Other than that, we are undefeated besides the Vikings loss within the NFC. So very impressive record um, for the Niners, man. Any tiebreaker we should be able to win.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Ward had 2 picks today.
Impressive. Yeah, he was on it, man. I mean, the guy was questionable coming in, and man, he played it, off and uh, man, very impressive. He's really upping his game, and this is the perfect time to do it, right before playoffs.
Yep. But we don't want the play to go down in the playoffs. That's the most important part of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. We should be hitting the high right now. Oh, we didn't talk about Ronnie Bell.
Oh
Oh man, this
yeah.
is some of the bad things. One of the bad things that happened besides injuries. I mean, okay, before we talk about Ronnie Bell, let's talk about the injuries, right? Brock Purdy had the stinger. He was out for I don't know, four plays maybe or something.
Yeah.
Hit the
And
blue tent and then he came out.
yeah, and then McCaffrey, he wrapped up his knee, so it might be a bit of a knee injury. Hopefully that's not too bad.
Yeah, he kept on messing with his knee and bending it and massaging it, and he seemed like and this was early on in the game, right? And I was thinking, oh, get Jordan Mason in or something and give him a little break, a little breather. But I don't think CMC wants to have any breathe, have any time off from what I've read. He does not like to come off the field. This guy's a warrior, man. Um, what other injuries?
Bosa,
Bosa, yeah, you said he was
yeah,
out a little
Randy
bit.
Gregory threw the Cardinals offensive lineman into Nick Bosa, which is like the most unlucky injury
Yeah,
ever.
I don't believe that. And you said Khalil Davis too, huh?
Yeah, ankle injury. So the 49ers are super thin at defensive tackle. And that's why I kept seeing Randy Gregory playing defensive tackle.
Yeah, I wonder if that was because it's the passing down and stuff, and then they bring in a lot of the defensive ends. I didn't pay attention to what down that was when Gregory was playing defensive tackle, but I've seen a few times when they've done that. I don't know if it's because of injury or just because they want to get to the quarterback and put all their pass rushers in NASCAR package kind of thing. Um, Diamador Lenore's also right.
Oh yeah, bruised, not bruised, but a rib injury. Could be bruised ribs.
I
Could
read
be broken ribs.
I hope not. I hope not. He looked like he was in pain though, right? We saw that on.
Yeah.
He like stretched out his arm, or the trainer was, and he was like, "Ah!" He gave a painful look and probably said something to that effect. Um, I read that Shanahan talked about it at the press conference after, and said that somebody stepped on him. So
Huh?
maybe, yeah. I mean, people all over the place, and they're wearing cleats. Imagine
Oh.
somebody stepping on the side of your body, 300-pound dude, and then with cleats on. It's like that would not be. That would be not pleasant. So, oh, okay. So injuries aside, Ronnie Bell had a snafu of a play.
Yeah. I don't want to be punt her ever again because that's too scary. Because he fumbled it at first, but then they reviewed it and he was barely down. His elbow was down before the
Yeah,
ball came
yeah,
out.
yeah. I mean, in context, this was right before the second quarter was going to end. So halftime was coming up. Um, they had just kicked off, punted to us, and there wasn't much time. What, minute or less or something like that?
Yeah.
And I was saying, just don't drop the ball. Don't drop the ball. Don't fumble it. Don't fumble it. I was saying that a few times right when he had the ball in his hand, and then he fumbles it. It looks like he fumbles it, and it's like within the 10-yard line. You know, eh, that the Cardinals would have, 1st and 10 maybe at our side already if he fumbles it there. And luckily, you were saying his elbow was down, his elbow was down, and it was right. The replay showed that, and they reversed it, and we had the ball.
Yeah, it
Luckily,
would have been a touchdown if his elbow, like, Well, if he fumbled before his elbow was down.
Oh yeah, somebody picked it up, right, and ran it in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it would have been 1st and 10. It would have been touchdown. So that would have been a momentum changer right before halftime because we were supposed to get the kickoff after halftime. So we looked like we were in the driver's seat, but then that would have just derailed a lot of things. And I could tell just by looking at Ronnie Bell on TV, I was nervous for him. He looked nervous. Yeah, I don't know if he's ready for this, and I think we need to find somebody else to do punt returns. While Ray Ray is still out.
Yeah, but in the game when the Cardinals punted, Ronnie Bell was still doing punt returns.
That's true. Yeah, we were thinking, oh, maybe he'll be benched and find somebody else, but maybe they had nobody active that could do that. Next week, um, I would expect somebody else doing punt returns next week. They'll find somebody, activate them, and have them on the roster and playing that game. So that's my assumption.
And Ronnie Bell, what was it against the Eagles? He like muffed it, but it was out of bounds.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Luckily, yeah, it's a message. It's a hint. Don't have him do punt returns. He's a rookie and maybe not even that good at it. So let's not risk it.
And for the Offensive Player of the Year odds, first is Tyreek Hill
Mm-hmm.
at -75, and then second is Christian McCaffrey at. Okay, I no, he's plus 150,
Plus 150.
and then AJ Brown is second at plus 4,000. And then for MVP odds, Brock Purdy has come in first.
Uh
He's jumped Dak Prescott. And then, wait, I forgot what I was going to say.
huh. Yeah, yeah. We were looking it up. Why don't you look at those numbers up for the MVP race because it was really tight. Last week after we beat the Seahawks, Purdy was number one in chances of being the MVP. After the Cowboys beat the Eagles, Dak went on top and was the new number one after that. So the Cowboys were playing the Bills, and we were watching that at the same time. And I was rooting for Dak to have a terrible game, and hey, it worked. He had a terrible game. I mean, he had I forgot 127 yards passing. Was it? He had a very low number of yards. I think through an interception.
Yeah, so he has
Let's
the
get
same amount of receptions as Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has a higher completion percentage, better QB rating, and more passing yards and more passing touchdowns. So I don't see why Brock Purdy shouldn't win MVP at this rate.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. Because Prescott in this game against the Bills, oh, he had 134 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception with a QB rating of 57.7. That does not look MVP ish to me, those numbers, right? I mean, for in comparison, we'll bring up Purdy's today's stats. Maybe you mentioned already. He threw for 242, four touchdowns, no interceptions, QB rating 135.3. So that does look MVP ish. So, so I don't know. Dak is Dak. So he dropped the ball again, and he's not looking so hot. So right now, like you said, Brock Purdy is in the driver's seat for MVP. There are some more games to go, so a lot can happen. But I'm rooting for Brock to win the MVP and just show everybody, spotlight on him, and give him his flowers, and just let the nation, the world know that Brock Purdy is elite and he's ours. what I want. You know, he deserves it.
And also, I know Nick Bosa is probably not gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. I just don't want Parsons to win.
Just because he's a Cowboy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, Nick Bosa has not had a as dominating season as he did the year before. That's okay. That's all right for now.
Yeah, he got sacked.
He doesn't need to have a DPOY season. It's fun, but we have possibly offensive player of the year, Christian McCaffrey, and an MVP in Brock Purdy. That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome to have. So let's uh let's wrap this up, huh?
Wait, did we mention like the score for the Cowboys game?
Oh no, I didn't say the score.
Oh yeah, 31-10.
Yeah, they got destroyed.
James Cook absolutely dominated.
Yeah,
179 rushing yards, touchdown, and a receiving touchdown.
that puts into question Dallas's defense, their offense, the whole deal. Uh, that's a great question and worry to put into those Cowboys heads right before playoffs. Now tomorrow is going to be Eagles at Seattle, so I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles to lose. So there's a lot of good things happening here, and hopefully it will strengthen where we stand in the NFC. Because right now it's pretty close, pretty tight, and we won. Cowboys lost. If the Eagles can lose, that'll give us a little spacing for the number one seed. You
Yeah,
know,
the number one seed would be so good.
now next week is going to be could be a pretty tough order. Against the Ravens. Um, There's going to be at Levi's though on Christmas Day, so that's going to be a very interesting game. That's Monday night.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson just beat the Jaguars 23-7. Had 171 passing yards, touchdown and interception, but 97 rushing yards.
Yeah, he ran a lot. His QB rating is not so hot. He didn't throw too many yards, and his completion rate was under 60%, I believe, right? 58.6?
Point three.
0.3. Okay, 58.3%. Yeah, pretty bad. Not a good passing game, but somehow the run game held that offense up. And, they're playing Jacksonville, and Trevor Lawrence is probably still injured.
Yeah, he
So,
didn't do very well.
so let's see if they're up to the test. This is an AFC game. The next game is going to be an AFC game, so it's not as important.
It,
Um,
it is like it is like for just knowing who's the best team in the NFL. Because
oh yeah.
this is the best AFC team, and ours are the best NFC team.
Well, that's debatable for
And
the AFC, but yeah, right now Ravens look pretty good.
and if the Niners destroy the Ravens, that'd be a big statement win.
That's true. You're right. It'd be a great statement for sure. Any wins would be a great positive thing. Um, I just think of course, AFC, NFC, how we play against NFC teams, much more important than AFC, but definitely going into the playoffs and the season, going up against like a possible Super Bowl matchup to show them where we're at and to show up and hopefully, dominate the Ravens. They won't know what hit them. So that is definitely something I would like, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So hopefully we'll have time. Sorry we didn't do the preview of this game. There was some holiday things happening, and we just didn't find the time to do it.
Yeah.
But we're shooting to do the preview for the Ravens game.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, Monday night game and Christmas Day and everything. So we'll get it done. We'll get it done, and we'll see how things go come Christmas Day. I hope we get a good present and
Yeah.
butt kicking of the Ravens. That's what I'm hoping
Yeah,
for.
that'd be the best.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.